Welcome to the Encouraging Cup. My name is Dr. Boomer Brown with Doing Good at Work. Today in the Cup, we're talking about flexibility. Nope, not anatomical flexibility, your ability to bend, your joints to move. What we're talking about is mental flexibility. How do you flex in your thoughts, in your thought life, in your thinking? You know, a lot of times when we are challenged by something, when we have to change something, someone is presenting a change to us, it's an opportunity to practice and to use our flexibility. But what most of us do when change comes into our lives, because most of us are change resistant, we get very resistant. We oppose the change. We start locking down our thoughts. Our jaws get locked. Our blood pressures go up. We start being challenged by the idea, and we don't want the change. We want it to stay the same. We're willing to dig in our heels, and we're going to battle in order to keep it the way it is or to make sure I get the outcomes I want if I'm going to change. Well, I'd like for you to think about this idea today. What if we thought about flexibility a different way? What if we thought about change a completely different way? I invite you to think of change as something that's good. Change is good. You may need to say that several times. You may keep saying it over and over again because change is good. No growth happens and things die if they do not change. So how do we work through changes when they come? What should we do? We should practice flexibility. What am I talking about? I'm talking about having an open mind, being willing to listen, trying to understand what the other person is saying. This can be true of a relationship with your spouse, significant other, with your kids, with your family, with people at work, people in the community. We all are presented with the opportunity to change every day, and most of us see change as bad. But what if we started seeing change as good? It would change how we practice flexibility. That's what I encourage you to think about. That's what I challenge you to try to bring in to your vocabulary and into your thinking and into the way that you perform every day. Flexibility is good. I didn't say you had to give up your morals, your principles, or your guidelines. Keep those strong. But remember, you're there to listen and learn, to work together, to look for the outcomes that will be the best for you and the best for the other person. I encourage you to practice flexibility. Now, as we close out our conversation today, I want to point out at the bottom of the email you received, there are a couple of links down there. One is to some resources like these two that I hold here. These happen to be on I'm Exhausted and Burnout. You see, these are little thin volumes. You can click on the picture of the resources and you can see a complete list of resources that are available to you. And these are sent to you in complete confidentiality. Just click on the link if you want to request some of the free resources. Also, you can request by clicking on the link a email, text conversation with a mental health first responder. If it's hard for you to practice flexibility, if you feel like you're backed into a corner, if you're exhausted, or if you're headed toward burnout, let us help you work through that. That's why Doing Good at Work exists. Thank you for tuning in to the Encouraging Cup this week, and we look forward to seeing you next week. Until then, have a great week.